Oh, that was how weak. We can't start like that. Yeah, the records are now open. Welcome, everyone, to Akashic Answers with Emily. I am your host for today, Emily Harrison, also the founder and director here inside the Akashic Academy. And there's one of our other hosts here, Tanya, joining us. What's up, Miss Tanya Mosley? It's such an honor for me to sit at the helm of facilitating and bringing together such a huge, powerful, collaborative team of hosts here to share their knowledge, their insight, their wisdom with you. I got Coach Nick in the house today. What is up, my friend, Coach Nick? Very excited to share this time with you. For those of you who are new, I want you always to say hello when you get here and tell me if you're new. I'll give you a little special extra attention if you are a first timer. Also, I want everyone to feel welcomed. I want you to feel relaxed in this space. I want you to feel like you can let your guard down. I want you to feel like you're loved, like you're understood. Please say hello to somebody new. I see T Dubs, our community manager here inside of the Academy, joining us. So many of you guys are regulars. When you see those newbies pop in, say hello. Welcome them to this space. This is a space where we are collectively growing, expanding, stepping into our gifts, our skills, our abilities. One of the most profound shifts that we can receive in the Akashic Records is stepping into our gifts more dynamically. For those of you guys who are new and you never heard of the Akashic Records before, the Akashic Records, or the Akash, this is a realm of consciousness where all information is programmed. Every single detail. This is like a recording of all information ever, and every human being has access to that. I specialize in teaching other light workers how to access their Akashic Records because it expands their impact in their modality. The records are not another modality. The Akashic Records are an access point for you to open up and be able to receive, relate to, understand, communicate with infinite cosmic wisdom. This is a self-actualization tool which takes your modality deeper, makes you more profound, helps your clients get more out of working with you because you have a natural and innate ability to embody your modality and the knowledge behind your modality more dynamically, and that gets translated to the clients that you're working with, and they expand more quickly. We can also go in and ask questions, areas where we can illuminate our insight so that we can have a perspective shift or a healing, karmic cleansing. How many of y'all ready for a little karmic cleansing up in here? I'm going to take just a moment to share this out. I'm going to invite you guys to share this out too. Say hellos. Say hellos. Make some new friends while you're in this space as well. And we're going to get into the Q&A part of this. All right. I'm going to also invite you guys, once you share and once you say hello, to type in your questions. What's going on in your life? Where are the areas where we can bring in valuable insight, healing, activation, shifting? No questions are off limits. There are no rules in this space except for to be respectful and loving and kind. Being kind is better than being pretty or smart. That's what I tell my kids. Smart's really important too. Pretty's helpful. So please type your questions in. Not only am I going to go to some specific questions, some of you guys are going to get specific readings today, but I also want to let you know that I'm not just going to do readings. We're going to do healing transmissions as well. Another beautiful aspect of the Akashic Records is that this energy holds its own consciousness, meaning when we tune into this space and we're willing to receive energy from this space, there is an aspect of growth, of illumination, of shift, seeds that are planted for you that are beyond what I can describe in vocabulary. But you know the nature of expansion. You know the nature of your own consciousness. You know the nature of what happens when you hold an awareness in your heart and mind and allow it to expand. It changes things for you. I also want to invite you, if you are not somebody who gets a specific reading today, if the message that comes through resonates with you, then it is for you as well. And I want to invite you to receive that. Receive it as if it were genuinely for you, because it is. Okay? We're also going to do those healing transmissions, which every person can receive. Every single one of you is invited to receive those healing transmissions. And with that, I'm going to dive in and start looking for questions. So type your questions in. I do go a little bit randomly, scrolling through back and forth, trusting that Spirit will bring my awareness to the questions that will help all of us expand in just the ways that we are ready to receive today. Because this meeting, all of us together here, we're coming together in sacred ceremony. This has already been decreed by my guides, by your guides, by all the higher selves of the universe who are here present and on the replay. All right, Jolene says, will I be homeless soon with my baby? Oh, that is a huge, big one to start out with. All right. First of all, Jolene, I'm just going to invite everybody to hold space. We're going to empower Jolene. These times when it's like the rubber meets the road in our life in terms of making timeline shifts, when it's really important, we could use a lot of strength, a lot of support. So soul family, let's just uplift Jolene. I want you to see her empowered. That mother energy is strong. I'm feeling it rise up in me. Let's call it up from Mother Earth. Jolene, you are, okay. I'm speaking to all of the mothers out there. If you have not incarnated as a feminine mother in this life, then I invite you to find an aspect of how this is represented in your life. A lot of us have pets and animals. We have people that we find some way to tune into this energy frequency. Okay, that divine template exists within all of us, the Divine Mother. We are birthed from the Divine Mother. Bring your awareness to planet Earth. Feel your feet connected to the planet right now. You are a part of this divine ecosystem. You are one with this planet, Mother Earth, an embodiment of consciousness so self-realized, so self-actualized, that she has physicalized herself as this terrestrial space for us to step into that divine template. Okay, remember, everything works on a holographic microcosm, macrocosm. This is the template of the space, the physical space in which you are showing up. Every single one of you have the ability to step into and embody that divine mother energy through which you may birth any timeline that is desirable to your growth. Many of us are releasing old karma. I saw we started with that a little bit. Releasing old karma that no longer lines up to the way we desire to grow. I learned the hard way for a long time in my life. The hard way. Okay? I like to learn the easy way now. I like to make these shifts more fluidly, more dynamically. But times in my life when I have been in that mode of learning the hard way, where consequences to decisions and actions and how things play out are grave to me. They're huge. I've been in that place before. I know that's when we have to call up that strength more dynamically than ever before. So once again, I'm going to just send through that energy of strength. I want to send through the energy of recognition right now. Okay? I see you. I want you to see you as this divine template of powerful energy that you are. The future exists in infinite possibility. So Jolene, I can't tell you for certain what is going to play out. But I can feel the dynamic shifting as we're all tuning in to this inner strength, and we're sharing it. We're calling it up from Mother Earth. We're calling it in from the Akash. We're magnifying it through all of our vessels. We're sharing it, uplifting Jolene and her son. I can feel the possibility shifting and changing. And I hold that space. Okay. So be it and so it is. All right. Flipping through now. Jen Frontier, she says, yes, releasing old karma with her mother is so challenging and painful. Ah, Shell Baby's here. Hi, Shell Baby. I love you. Sherman P. Pegasus says, I'm new to understanding the Akashic Records. Are there specific exercises to access the Akashic Records? Yes, absolutely. There are also an infinite number of ways to access the Akashic Records. And truthfully, we're all accessing some degree of the Akashic field in every moment, whether we are aware of it or not. So just the exchange of very fast information flow back and forth, the thoughts, like where you're at and how you are relating with the universe in every moment is your exchange with the Akashic field. That's why it's so important to recognize when our thoughts and our emotions are in a triggered state and you're going over that inner dialogue, you're exchanging information with the Akashic field that is supporting whatever state you tell it you're at. Which is why when you get in a bad mood, it's so easy to get in a worse mood and a worser mood and a worser mood. But we can learn to channel it the other way. We can learn to say, all right, I'm going to shift. I want to interact with this infinite resource of cosmic wisdom in a more dynamic way. How can I do that? So I believe that would be the answer to your question, is what are the exercises that you can get in that way? Meditation is really, really important. What the guides are bringing my awareness to right now is, instead of focusing on instantly how to get in, because truthfully you're already in, focus on what you can do to sustain a higher vibrational frequency that makes you a better freaking date once you're in there. What do I mean by that? I mean, makes you ask better questions, makes you pay more attention, makes you lean into it a little more dynamically. Right? When you show up in that space, open, joyful, curious, with the lightness of being, and you begin to entangle and dance with the energy that's present for you in the Akash, you begin to move along your own journey of revelation. I do recommend, for those of you who want to access all that is available within the Akash, because this is a very, very vast space, to invest in a mentor who can guide you to how most dynamically access the information, what you can do with it, how you can heal yourself, how you can heal others. But work on preparing yourself to hold that higher frequency energy. So daily meditation is a must. Nature is a must. These things are not they seem simple, which makes us want to write them off, like drinking enough water. It seems so simple. You got to do these things. You've got to hold yourself accountable to a high emotional charge. I should say frequency. Charge makes it sound like you're pissed off and angry. Well, I don't want you pissed off and angry. I want you holding a high joy content for yourself. A high pleasure content. If you're not feeling happy and pleasurable about what you're experiencing in your day, you need to adjust that. You need to take that seriously. Okay? If you're not playing every day, you got to take that seriously, because you're not going to be able to access all of the magic and embody all of the magic without a playful spirit and without feeling comfortable in play. That's a big one. I noticed that in myself. And I just felt it. That's the activation we're going to bring in, because many of you are resistant to play. You don't feel comfortable playing. Probably because I see Joyce's here. Because your ass got reprimanded in church because you were being too silly. And what happens when we experience those childhood moments, maybe it was just a reprimand by your mom in church, but maybe it really embarrassed you. It becomes a flashbulb kind of memory that comes up that says, oh, I'm not going to go back to that space. I don't want to let loose and be too embarrassed like that again. So we're going to bring in an activation that is going to open that up a little bit more dynamically for us, all right? Because truthfully, we can feel really, really uncomfortable playing. I noticed it in myself, not when I was in church. I got sidetracked. I'm going to tell you my story. When I had Jack is my oldest son. He's going to be 16 very soon. But when he was an itty bitty, like about 1.5, he just wanted to play all day long. I wanted to meditate all day. He wanted to play. And I was really resistant to it. I would find myself, seriously, I would rather go do a chore and be like, well, let's clean the bathroom first, Jack, before we play. I was so uncomfortable playing. And I would tell Mike, we need to have another kid because I just can't play trains all day long. I was really, really uncomfortable and resistant playing. And then the deeper lesson that I needed to learn hit me, that I needed to create space for that. So to support you going into the Akashic Records or any study that is dynamically important to you right now, I want you to remember, take care of what it takes to maintain a high frequency. The knowledge will come. The modality, the experience, the whatever it is, it's already called you. The knowledge is already within you. The experience that you're being invited and curiously wandering into so that you can learn more, it's just reminding you of everything that's inside of you. Don't stress about having to get any of it right. You got to trust the process. I promise you it will unfold. Where your focus needs to be is how you're caring for your vessel, because you need to be able to support a very high frequency energy within your vessel to move forward as a teacher, a healer, a guru. I know gurus don't like that name, guru, but it just came out of my mouth, so I said it anyway. All right, sending out the energy right now for anybody who is resistant to play. You want to see a little playful energy here? Play can open up so much in your life. Yeah, it can be a little scary sometimes. You can feel a little awkward, you feel a little out of place. Stay with it. Find a safe place to play. Come on in the Akashic Academy. All right? We're creating a very, very safe environment for our members. How many of you guys were just on intuitive development with me? That is one of our member workshops where every single week I teach a 30-minute intuitive development workshop. Every week, Coach Nick teaches a mindful living workshop. These workshops are so dynamic, so powerful. If you were there, say yes. Say something cool that happened to you when we were just hanging out before this. All right? All right. One more nice deep breath, receiving that energy. Pull it into your heart space. Breathe it in with your heart. That willingness to play. Good job. All right. I'm flying through the questions today. I feel like I'm taking care of all of you out there. All right. Let's see what else we have. Richard says, be love, present in the moment. Works for me. Soul brother. Heard that. Teresa Warren says she had so much fun last Friday with when her grandchildren spent the day with her. I love you, T-dubs. Feeling space. Ooh, Gaia Man did an activation at Mount Shasta. Okay, I'm scrolling back up to the beginning now. If you hung up, you're like, she didn't answer my question, I'm out of here. Well, you might just miss it. That's all I have to say. Jama Tardif says, How do you know for sure if you should be working in the field that you're in? I do something totally different than energy work, but suddenly feel drawn to this. What's a girl to do? First of all, thank you for being willing enough to say, oh my gosh, I've been working in a space for a long time and things are shifting for me. I have to tell you, it scared the shit out of me when I realized Hollywood was not what I wanted to do anymore. Because I had invested so much of my life. Now I hadn't invested traditionally. When you think of, okay, so what are other jobs that we significantly invest in? Being a doctor, being a lawyer, things that have like a high level of training, a high level of commitment. Fuck, man, pardon my French. There's my Hollywood coming out. I left my entire life, small town Missouri, left everything behind. I had a future timeline that was not really what I wanted, but it was on its way to playing out. And I pulled the plug and I'm like, nope, I'm not doing this. Hightail my ass to Hollywood. I'm an actress. I'm an actress. Granted, I'd only been in a couple school plays, but whew, that's another story for another day. I left everything that I had. I began to dive in and really seek this really exciting journey. I was good at it. I started getting jobs right away. My little hometown, my 3,000 people where I grew up, they were excited. They were proud of me. I was gaining momentum. I was doing it. I was living this dream, right? And when things began to shift in my life, and I'm abridging a lot of the story just to tell you, when things began to shift and change in my life, when I began to no longer be lit up by what I was doing, and I could spend hours a day. Like I said, I didn't want to play trains. I wanted to meditate. I wanted to learn how to use my powers and my skills. It was undeniable to me that my curiosity and my passion, and I was so lit up in this space. I felt so alive when I was meditating and maybe talking to a friend or giving them a card reading, which is a very simple way to start, a way that I started. And then I began to realize, oh shit, I don't think my future looks like what I thought it did. I think I'm moving in another direction. And I had built up a story in my mind that there was so much writing on my success as an actress. The people that I had left, the timeline that I had shifted, the expectation that I was holding on, that I had put on myself, that I felt like other people expected that of me too. And I wanted to be like, hey, fuck you, I'm done. I want to run over here and play in this other sandbox. But I was scared. So first of all, I want to acknowledge that. That's what it felt like for me in the beginning. However, the drive, the curiosity, the pull, and again, there are certain things that you can do. And Angelina, I'd like to invite you to reach out to me. Send me a private message, because there are certain and we can go a little deeper into protocol, but I'll give you guys the surface of it today. Things that you can do that are going to support you in releasing fear. Okay? It's the flow, it's the breath retreat that I did last week. It is the flow state. When you know how to dynamically move the energies within your body, and you do that, you can do that by a lot of ways. The simplest way is by understanding the breath and how the breath moves. But there are ways that you can conduct a frequency within your body by using your breath to put you into a flow state. You actually change the nature of the brain. You change the chemistry of the brain and of your body, where it's easy to release fear. Okay? What I wanted to share, what I talked about just briefly outlined for you guys, is how often are you aware of your breath? Oh, only when I come on and do synchronized breathing, which I should probably do both. We lose so many moments in unawareness, and specifically unawareness to our breath. When that happens, our breath gets very shallow. It's just kind of on autopilot kind of happening, okay? I know many times we think of breath expanding through the lungs. I want you to think of breath as being pulled up your spine, as you're like pulling it up from Mother Earth. So when you breathe shallowly, the breath doesn't get up above the heart space. You're just breathing. It's all located down here in these lower chakras, your lower centers, your lower dantian. This is where you hold your fear, your guilt, your emotions, your suppressed. If you're breathing below the heart space, it's your suppressed energy and all of this. It's your subconscious energy around your fear or safety, around your emotions, around your creativity, around your sexuality. It's your subconscious thoughts around your personal power. And no wonder we're all having such issue, because when you don't pull the breath consciously up this central channel, getting it above the heart space, all of your action, reaction, your behavior, it's coming out through your subconscious programming in these lower centers, which again, this is your safety and security, your sexuality, your creativity, your personal power. One of the simplest things you can do is just bring about a breath practice. Now, the breath practice, we did it in the flow retreat, the breath retreat, find your flow state. Oh, my third eye just went was, it's not stopping either. Was reasonable for beginners, it was reasonably aggressive. For advanced practitioners, shit, that ain't nothing. So much deeper you can go. But I do want to share that this particular practice that I shared was an assimilation. It was a marriage of a lot of different philosophies and beliefs, from Kundalini yoga to pranayama yoga to the Wim Hof method to Tai Chi Qigong, to information that's been given directly to me from the Akashic records. So when it comes to learning how to work with your breath, how to pull your breath up into those higher energy centers so that you can release fear easily, and trust me, you want to create a protocol for yourself that is easy, because there's more to this story. As you are changing your timeline, as you are showing up and considering, am I going to dive into this? Am I going to leave behind my old job? Am I going to create a new life? How am I going to do this? What does this look like? Who you are when you show up in that space is creating a template for what you're going to experience. So I'm not saying not to question those things, but I'm definitely saying keep your ass calm when you're questioning. Allow yourself to be okay that you don't know all of it at once, because as soon as you start getting tense and frustrated and scared and like, oh shit, I don't know what this looks like, you are creating an energetic template, a pattern for which your growth is going to continue to follow until you realize it and shift that. So might as well make it easy. If you want a life of ease and flow, say yes. I do, yes. So it's important that we learn to see how we are multidimensionally showing up and creating. And how we show up and approach big changes in our life is a huge part of how we are saying to the universe that we want to grow. Do you want to get all tense and frustrated about it, or do you want it to be easy? All you have to do is install a program that says, I'm okay with not knowing how it all unfolds, but I trust. And then create a protocol for yourself. This is another powerful essence, because it ignites your ability to be an alchemist. When you get in there and start playing with the energies, you're telling the universe that you're willing to play. You're going to make some mistakes as you go, and you're going to stumble onto some really powerful damn things that you did right too. That's just how it goes. But when you create your own protocol practice to move your breath and enliven higher thoughts, you're going to start to experience it. So I want to do the last activation today, and then we have to wrap up because Robin McClendon is next. So make sure you stay tuned for Robin McClendon. Any of you, I'm just going to empower you all to start interacting with the energy, start playing, and you will find your way. This is just the beginning, though. This is just scratching the surface of what we can dive into in the space of the Akashic Records. There's opportunity to release patterns that you have been in for lifetimes by working with me in this space. There's opportunity to release physical limitations of dis-ease that you have experienced inside of your body, inside of your mind, inside of your emotions. These can be released. There is opportunity for you to see yourself and your spiritual, your psychic, your energy healing gifts, your creative gifts in a way that you haven't seen yourself before, because you're looking at yourself through polarity and through judgment. This allows you to see and experience yourself, not just see, but to experience, to have An entheogenic experience. I love that big word. It means to have an experience where you are present and at one with the divine as it is illuminated through you. That is what is available to you in your Akashic records. For those of you guys who want to know more, reach out to me. I do take time to get back to the questions in the comments here, but I have a huge presence here on Facebook. Send me a direct message and I will be happy to connect with you. And let's explore how the Akashic records can open up the next steps for your highest good. Namaste, everybody. Thank you for sharing this time with me. And I look forward to doing it again.